Hello, my dear friends. There is something happening right now, not in the news, not in government announcements, not in anything the outside world is telling you, but inside you. Deep in the part of you that knows things before your mind catches up. Deep in the part of you that has been quietly waiting, watching, feeling that something is different, something is shifting, and you are not imagining it. If this video found you today at the right moment, perhaps there is something in it that speaks to what you are already feeling. Nothing that draws a soul toward a message like this is ever truly without meaning. And what you are about to hear may resonate with something you have sensed for a long time. In many spiritual communities around the world, the Pleiadians are understood as beings of light, guides associated with expanded awareness, remembrance, and inner awakening. For those who resonate with these teachings, this message can be received as a spiritual reflection on what many sensitive souls are experiencing right now. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and trust yourself to know the difference. So take a slow breath, let your shoulders drop, and allow yourself to truly listen. Part O.N.E. Why this moment feels different from any other. For most of human history, people have felt the weight of the world pressing down on them. Systems of control, cycles of struggle, patterns that repeat themselves lifetime after lifetime. And for most of that history, the awakening ones, the old souls, the sensitive ones, the ones who always felt like they did not quite belong in this world, have carried that weight in silence. But something has changed. In Pleiadian teachings, the current moment on Earth is described as a transition point unlike anything that has occurred in thousands of years. Not a threat, not a catastrophe. A description of what many people are already beginning to feel. The energetic fabric of this planet appears to be shifting. The frequencies that have kept humanity locked in cycles of fear, separation, and forgetting are becoming increasingly unstable. And in their place, something new is rising. Many people around the world are beginning to feel this. They cannot always explain it in words, but they feel it as a kind of restlessness, not the restlessness of anxiety, but the restlessness of someone who senses that they are standing on the edge of something important. A sense that the next chapter is not just coming, it is already beginning. The Pleiadians call this the thinning of the veil. The invisible barrier between the dimension of limitation and the dimension of awareness is becoming more permeable. And the ones who feel it first, the ones who have been doing the inner work, who have been choosing consciousness over comfort, who have been walking their path even when it felt lonely and uncertain, those are the ones this message speaks to most directly. If you feel something shifting in your life right now, in your relationships, your sense of purpose, your experience of time, your emotional depth, that is not something to fear. For many people, that feeling is a powerful confirmation that something real is happening within them. Part TWO. What the Pleiadians want you to know about yourself. In Pleiadian teachings, one message often comes through very strongly. That within this spiritual perspective, many believe they are here for a reason, not by accident, not without purpose. Your presence here may be the result of a conscious choice made at a level of awareness that your human mind has not yet fully remembered. And that quiet, persistent feeling you have always carried, that feeling that there is something you are supposed to do, something you came here for, may not be a fantasy. It may be a memory. The Pleiadians speak of a group of souls they call way showers. These are beings who have chosen, lifetime after lifetime, to enter the density of the physical world not because they were required to, but because they understood something profound. That the greatest gift a civilization can offer another is presence. Not instruction, not superiority. Presence. The willingness to stand in the darkness alongside those who are struggling, and hold a light steady until others begin to see. You may be one of these souls. You may have wondered your entire life why you feel things so deeply. Why other people's pain lands in your body as if it were your own. Why you have always had a sense that the world could be different, more compassionate, more connected, more honest, and why you have never been able to stop caring about that, even when caring felt exhausting. The Pleiadians say that this depth of feeling is not a weakness. Many people interpret it as part of their deeper design or calling, because the world does not change through those who feel nothing. It changes through those who feel everything and choose to act from that feeling with wisdom rather than fear. This may be part of who you truly are. And this may be the moment your purpose is beginning to activate in ways you have not yet experienced. Part 3. The signs that something in you is already shifting. Over the past months, and for some of you, the past year or more, you may have noticed that something inside you is quietly reorganizing itself. You may have found that old interests no longer hold the same appeal. Things that once occupied your attention, kept you distracted, gave you a sense of entertainment or escape, they feel hollow now. You reach for them and find that they no longer satisfy something deep in you. For many people in spiritual communities, this kind of shift is described as the soul clearing space for something more meaningful. You may have found that certain relationships feel different. People you have known for years now seem like strangers in some way, not because anything dramatic has happened, but because you are standing in a different place inside yourself, and the distance is real. And at the same time, you may find yourself drawn toward people you have just met with an inexplicable sense of recognition, as though you have known them before, as though you were supposed to find each other exactly now. You may have found that your sensitivity is increasing. Sounds feel louder. Emotions feel closer to the surface. The energy of places and people affects you more than it used to. Some days this feels overwhelming. Some days it feels like finally waking up after a very long sleep. You may be sleeping differently. Your dreams may be more vivid, more layered, more filled with imagery and conversations that feel meaningful even when you cannot fully remember them. Some of you are waking at unusual hours, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, with a strange sense of alertness that does not feel like ordinary restlessness. Many people who are going through inner transformation describe experiences like these. Each person's journey is different, and these shifts can mean many things. But in the Pleiadian framework, this phase is described as an inner calibration. Your energetic system, what many spiritual traditions call the light body, may be adjusting and expanding. This process can feel deeply uncomfortable at times. If anything ever feels overwhelming, grounding practices and the support of trusted people around you can make a real difference. Part 4. The message from the Pleiadians directly. Now we arrive at the heart of what the Pleiadians most wish to communicate. They say this: you have been tested by a world that was designed to make you forget who you are. You have moved through systems, educational, social, economic, cultural, that were built around a single assumption, that your value is determined by your productivity, your conformity, your ability to fit into a structure that was never designed with your soul in mind. And many of you have felt the grinding weight of that assumption your entire lives. The sense that no matter how much you do, it is never quite enough. The sense that there is a version of yourself, more free, more alive, more fully expressed, that you have never quite been allowed to become. The Pleiadians want you to hear this clearly. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is who you actually are. And the journey you are on right now, however uncertain, however quiet, however unlike the lives of the people around you, is the journey back to that self. They speak of what they call the Great Remembering, a process that does not happen all at once, but builds gradually, like light returning after a long winter. Piece by piece, you begin to recall what you knew before you were taught to forget. That you are not a body moving through a random universe. That you are a consciousness with intention and purpose. That the people in your life, the experiences you have had, the losses and the breakthroughs, all of it has been guiding you toward this. Pleiadian teachings often describe these beings as longtime companions to humanity's evolution, not as controllers, not as saviors, but as witnesses and guides. Beings who chose to remain connected to this planet's journey because they understand what is at stake, not just for one civilization, but for the broader expansion of consciousness across dimensions. And they say that what is coming, what is already beginning, is something they have waited a very long time to witness. Part 4b, the inner changes many people are experiencing right now. Many people who describe themselves as spiritually sensitive talk about a period of inner reorganization that affects not just their thoughts and emotions, but their entire sense of how they experience life. Some describe feeling more emotionally open than before, more aware of how the energy of certain places and people affects them, more drawn to quiet, to nature, to simplicity, and less satisfied by distraction and noise. Some describe a shift in their relationship with food, sleep, or time, days that seem to blur and stretch simultaneously. A sense that something important is happening just beneath the surface of everyday life, even when nothing obvious appears to have changed. These experiences can mean different things for different people. In the Pleiadian perspective, many interpret them as signs of a deeper inner awakening, the soul beginning to stir more fully awake inside a life that was built around different priorities. Not everyone resonates with this framing, and that is perfectly fine. But for those who do, these shifts often feel less like symptoms of something wrong and more like evidence that something is opening. Whatever you are experiencing, the most important thing is to honor your own inner process. Give yourself permission to not have all the answers. Give yourself space to feel what you feel without immediately needing to label or explain it, and reach toward what genuinely brings you peace, whether that is stillness, nature, meaningful conversation, or simply breathing slowly and letting the noise of the world settle for a moment. Part 5. What is actually coming? There are many voices in the world right now predicting catastrophe, collapse, conflict, the end of systems. And it would be dishonest to pretend that the outer world is not going through a profound upheaval. It is. Structures that have held power for generations are showing their fractures. Certainties that people lived by are dissolving. And for those who are attached to the old world, this feels like the end of something. But the Pleiadians offer a different perspective. They say that what looks like collapse from one angle looks like clearing from another. When a forest burns, it appears to be destruction. But beneath the ash, seeds that have been waiting for exactly this moment begin to stir. The fire does not end the forest. It makes way for what comes next. What many spiritual traditions describe as coming next on Earth is a period of genuine renewal, not a perfect world, not a sudden transformation that removes all difficulty overnight, but a real and meaningful shift in the collective human consciousness. A shift toward greater honesty, greater compassion, greater willingness to acknowledge that the old ways of organizing human life, based on fear, separation, and the suppression of the individual soul, are not sustainable and were never truly aligned with what humanity is capable of. This shift will not come from governments or institutions. It will come from individuals, from the quiet, persistent work of millions of people who are choosing, day after day, to live with more awareness, more kindness, more honesty, more courage. And the Pleiadians say that those who are doing that work right now, those who are choosing growth even when it is painful, connection even when it is vulnerable, truth even when it costs something, those people are not following the shift. They are creating it. Part SIX, your role in what is unfolding. This is perhaps the most important part of this message. The Pleiadians do not speak of humanity as passive recipients of cosmic change. They speak of you, yes, you, specifically as an active participant in what is happening right now on this planet. Your energy matters. Your choices matter. The way you treat yourself, the way you treat others, the thoughts you choose to engage with, and the ones you choose to release, all of it contributes to the collective experience of this world. From a spiritual perspective, many believe that consciousness is not separate from the reality we experience, that how we show up inwardly shapes the world outwardly in ways both seen and unseen. And so the question is not, what will happen to the world? The question is, what will you bring to it? The Pleiadians invite you to consider something. Think about the version of yourself you most deeply want to become. The one who lives with more peace. The one who creates from genuine inspiration rather than fear. The one who loves without needing to control, who contributes without needing to be seen, who stands in their own truth without needing approval from the world. That version of you, is it further away than you think? Or is it closer than you have allowed yourself to believe? The Pleiadians say that the distance between who you are today and who you are capable of becoming is not measured in years of effort. It is measured in the depth of your willingness. Willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. Willingness to trust the process even when you cannot see the outcome. Willingness to be changed by the moments you are moving through. You have already proven that willingness in ways you may not fully recognize. The fact that you are here, that you have continued to search, to question, to seek, to remain open, even in a world that often rewards those who close themselves, is itself the evidence. You have already been doing the work, and the Pleiadians see it. Part 7. Practical guidance for this time. The Pleiadians offer specific guidance for souls who are navigating this transition. Not rules, not commandments, but practical wisdom from a perspective that honors the depth of what you are moving through. First, protect your inner environment with the same care you would give a living garden. What you allow into your mind and heart, the information you consume, the conversations you engage in, the energies you spend time within, these are not neutral. They shape the quality of your inner world, and your inner world is the source from which your outer experience grows. This does not mean hiding from difficulty or avoiding the truth of what is happening in the world. It means being intentional, choosing information that builds awareness rather than feeds fear, choosing relationships that elevate rather than diminish, choosing thoughts that move you toward who you want to become. Second, return to stillness as often as you can. The world is loud right now, louder in many ways than it has ever been. And in that noise, it is easy to lose contact with the quiet knowing that lives at the center of who you are. The Pleiadians describe stillness not as the absence of thought, but as the presence of the self. When you sit in silence, even for a few minutes, when you breathe slowly, feel your body, let the noise of the day settle, you are not wasting time. You are doing some of the most important work available to you. You are re-establishing contact with the part of you that knows. Third, trust your perception. You have been taught, in many ways, to distrust your own inner experience, to dismiss what you feel as irrational, to override your intuition with logic. But in this time of transition, your inner perception can be one of your most valuable tools. The feelings that arise without obvious cause. The moments of knowing that something is right or wrong before you can explain why. The sense of being drawn towards certain people, places, and experiences. Many people interpret these moments not as coincidences, but as meaningful patterns worth paying attention to. 4. Release the need to have it all figured out. One of the greatest sources of suffering for awakening souls is the gap between what they feel called toward and their inability to see clearly how to get there. The Pleiadians want you to understand that the path does not reveal itself all at once. It reveals itself one step at a time. And the most important thing you can do in this moment is not to have a perfect plan. It is to take the next honest step in front of you. Part 8. A direct word from the Pleiadians. Before we close, allow this message to land in you as directly as it can be offered. The Pleiadians say, "We see you, not the version of yourself that you perform for the world, not the version that you present to be accepted or approved or understood. We see the version that lies beneath all of that. The one that has been carrying this journey alone for a very long time. The one that has felt too much, hoped too deeply, cared too fiercely for a world that has not always reflected that care back. We want you to know that what you carry is not a burden. It is a gift. And this world, this planet that you chose to come to, needs exactly what you carry. Your sensitivity, your depth, your refusal to stop believing in something better even when everything around you argued against it. You did not come here to fit in. You came here to shift something. And that shift begins not in the world outside you, but in the world within you. In the choice, made again every morning, to live 1 degree more honestly, 1 degree more compassionately, 1 degree more aligned with what you know to be true. To many people, it can feel as though the old ways of the world are losing their hold, as though something enormous is in the process of being released, and something new is being given space to grow. And you are among those who are doing the growing. That is not a small thing. That is everything. We are with you. We have always been with you. And the moment you are moving into, the one that is arriving now, step by step and breath by breath, is the one that your soul has been moving toward across many lifetimes. You are ready. You were always ready. And we are here, standing just beyond the threshold, waiting to welcome you home. Closing. If this message reached something in you today, if even one part of it landed in a place that felt true, we invite you to sit with that. You do not need to analyze it. You do not need to defend it or explain it to anyone. You only need to let it be what it is. A reminder, a confirmation, a signal from the part of the universe that has never lost sight of who you are. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because messages like this often help like-minded people recognize one another, and they are searching for each other right now. Take what resonates, leave what does not, and trust yourself to know the difference. With love, from beyond the stars and from right here beside you. This content is offered for spiritual reflection, symbolic interpretation, and personal insight. It is not presented as scientific fact, medical advice, or a prediction of real-world events. Please use your own discernment, critical thinking, and personal judgment when engaging with this material.